Show that the relation R in the set R of the real number defined by the following is neither reflexive nor symmetry nor transitive. So let's understand the expression. The relation R will pick up from which one? Real numbers, right? So we have been given the following. We have R which is equal to a comma b such that a is less than or equal to b square. Where will a and b come from? A and b belongs to real number. Now, what kind of values will satisfy this? Pretty much most of it, like 4 and say 5. So 4 comma 5, 4 is less than or equal to 5 square. That is true. Then minus 1 comma or minus 10 comma 2. So minus 10 is less than or equal to 2 square. That is 4. So on and so forth. We can get plenty of examples which are true for this. But we have to prove that it is not reflexive, nor symmetry, nor transitive. So we can pick up examples which will show it is not. So let's start off with check on reflexive. Okay. So what can we consider? Let a be equal to say 0.1 and b equal to 0.1. Because if I pick up any other number, the square of that number will be greater than this, other than the fractions. Any kind of fractions, what happens? We have the square of that number will be lesser than that of the actual number, right? So if I consider this, then what happens over here? So we have 0.1 less than or equal to 0.1 square, which is a false statement. And so what can we tell? Then 0.1 comma 0.1 does not belong to our relationship R. So from this I can tell R is not reflexive. Then to do with symmetry, we need to consider a pair which is true and the reverse of it is not going to be true. So check on this is symmetric. So let's consider 0.1 and 1, right? So again, what is that we're looking at? A fraction. Because fractions are the one when we square, it will reduce, right? So that is always the case. So we have 0.1 less than or equal to 1 square. This implies 0.1 comma 1 will belong to R. Now consider 1 comma 0.1, the opposite of that. So what happens over here? 1 is less than or equal to 0.1 square. Clearly it's not. It's a false statement. And so from this I can tell that 1 comma 0.1 does not belong to R, and from this R is not symmetric. So this is symmetric. Okay. Next is transitive. So we need to have a chain of numbers which will give us the following. So what do we have? This is going to be a bit of trouble. Transitive. So what set of numbers we have to figure out? That we need to sit and think. So first thing is we need one and another pair wherein these two numbers are same, and this has to be smaller than this while this has to be greater than that, the square of it. So and this has to be not greater than this. So I feel we can pick up a fraction over here, then a negative number over here, and a fraction over here. Then I'll consider 1 over here, minus 2 and 0.1. But when I consider this two pair, 1 is not smaller than or equal to 0.1 square, same as what we did over here. So basically this, if you expand, you will get this, right? and the negative number is the best thing to go about doing this. So 1 minus 2 and 0.1. Okay. So that's how you should sit and think, right? Then we will tell that first thing is 1 is what I consider, right? Consider 1 and minus 2 and minus 2 and 0.1. So clearly 1 is less than equal to minus 2 square, right? And minus 2 is less than equal to 0.1 square, because any negative number is smaller than any kind of positive number. So all these are true statements. So from this I can infer that 1 comma minus 2 and minus 2 comma 0.1, they do belong to R. Now from this I will take the next pair, that would be 1 and 0.1, right? Now we'll consider 1 and 0.1. This has to be true, is it not? This has to be true as per the rule, but if it's not transitive, then it won't be true, and so we'll be able to prove it. 1 is less than equal to 0.1 square, which is a false statement. And so from this I can tell R is not transitive. And finally, hence proved. That's it. So only thing in all of this entirety of the topic is to have an example to prove it's not true. If it's true, then you have to use variables, and pretty much that is a fixed framework. So you just have to be good with your language and you're pretty much done.